What's going on, everybody? My name is Armand Wake Up, and this is Model Ministry. Today I'm going to be ranking the comfort of the Yeezys that I own. Now, before I get started, I have a few rules of engagement. The first rule, I'm only ranking the comfort of the Yeezys I own. So if there's a model that you don't see me rank, it's because I don't own it, so I can't tell you if it's comfortable or not. The second rule is that comfort is subjective. People's feet are shaped different. You have narrow feet, wide feet, flat feet, high arches, right? And so that's gonna play into the level of comfort that something may provide. The third rule is, I'm not the technical guy when it comes to sneakers and fashion. And what I mean by that is, if you're here for like detailed descriptions on materials that are used, I'm not the guy. But I'm someone who tries to wear things in my closet. I don't put stuff on ice. I like to wear my stuff. So without further ado, let's get into this ranking. And just for reference, I am ranking least comfortable to most comfortable. And the least comfortable Yeezy that I own is the 700 V3. And I know what I just said, but truth be told, I think it's not comfortable because I just haven't worn it enough. My wife owns a pair and she raved about how comfortable they were. And that's kind of what led me into trying a pair out. But for my wife, she wears her V3s a lot, so she's broken them in. But the breaking in process for me is a little difficult, first world problems, right? Because that upper, man, like that hard rubber, it just doesn't sit on my foot comfortably. And it's a deterrent for me wearing them. Number 9, from least comfortable to most comfortable, is my 450. And let me say this, the 450s are not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They're comfortable. They're actually really light, and I think they might be the lightest Yeezy I own. Shoot, they might even be the lightest shoe in my collection. But man, it's just the bottom, like there's no support compared to some of the other models. They sit really low to the ground. It's weird, it's weird to describe. But again, not comfortable, just not as comfortable as some of the other models that I'm gonna list. Number 8, and this might shock some of y'all, but the desert boot. This is a sleeper. And what I had to do for this is I had to compare it to other boots, specifically the Timberland, because for my age demographic, for how I dress, that is the boot that guys like me are trying to replace. And truth be told, Timberlands are a terrible winter boot. They have no insulation, they're heavy, they're hard. Timberlands are Timberlands primarily for cultural reasons. But the thing I love about the desert boots primarily is the material. It's a lighter boot. It's not a steel toe or hard toe, but I don't need those in my age and my line of work. That's not just, the upper material allows for like some breathability, you know what I'm saying? So my feet aren't hot in them. So much so that like you can get those off in the spring, you can get them off in the fall. You know, Timberlands with shorts are kind of like made fun of. They're like a 90s New York aesthetic, but the Yeezy desert boots with shorts, like that's a nice fit. The only way these are not comfortable is if you don't go up a full size, because they run really small. They angle towards the heel and it pushes your foot forward. And all Yeezys run small, but desert boots run small. Go up at least a full size, if not a size and a half. Number 7, from least comfortable to comfortable, Yeezys that I own. It's the 500. Again, not comfortable, but as we're getting into like the upper echelon of Yeezys, like they're cool, they're solid. You know, they're light. And as I think about it, they're kind of hot on my foot. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, number 6, and this one might be a little controversial, but the basketball model. Some people don't like these. Shoot, I didn't like them initially, but in terms of comfort, the more I wear them, the more comfortable they get. They're super sleepers to me. It's this weird blend of, it's locked down because I have the performance model. So it locks down on your foot. Like you, them joints ain't going nowhere. You ain't got to tie them up or nothing if you decide to hoop in these. But you can still feel the boost. Number 5 is the 700 V1. To me, this is the most traditional Kanye West sneaker, just in terms of material use, you know, just the rubber on the bottom, and And so you can kind of feel the boost, like you can, but it's not dominating like some of these other models that I'm gonna get into. I've heard that 700 V2s are really comfortable. So yo, leave a comment if you have a pair, like let me know if that's true or not. I've heard great things about them. Number 4, remember we're going from least comfortable to most comfortable. So now we in the thick of it. The 350 V2, Kanye's Air Force One. Like this is the standard of Kanye West sneakers. But in terms of comfort, they're extremely solid. The upper is super breathable and the boost is there, and it's got like that hard shell rubber that surrounds it that gives it some stability, but super comfortable for sure. Number 3, I think some people might think that these are gonna be a little higher, but the slide. And I think what has them at 3 and not higher is just the fact that the upper part that you slide your foot into, it doesn't really like lay on top of my foot. You know what I'm saying? So I find myself walking kind of weird because I feel like the slide is gonna fall off. I'm sure that's an individual experience, but yeah, that's the only thing that keeps them from being any higher than these other 2 that I'm about to reveal to y'all. Number 2, for a lot of y'all, these are gonna be your number 1. And yo, I don't blame you because they're wild comfortable. The 380. Listen, man, the 380 is so comfortable. The boost all over with kind of like that, like the bottom and what surrounds it is like this hard gel. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. I ain't gonna hold you, but they're so comfortable. The upper is breathable, it's light, and like yo, I just enjoy wearing my 380 so much. And so if the 380 is my number 2, then you have to know that my number 1 are foam runners. Easily and far away the most comfortable shoe that I own. They are extremely polarizing. Like most Kanye West shoes, I thought they were ugly at first and they grew on me substantially. A friend of mine got a pair and he swore by them, said I needed them, tried them out, and I'm glad I did. You know what the really interesting part about foam runners is that you would assume that they're only a warmer weather shoe, but I've worn them when it's cold. I live in Ohio, so it's wild cold here. And I've worn them when it's 30 degrees outside, and for some odd reason, and maybe one of y'all can like help me understand why, they retain heat and my feet did not feel cold at all. But that foam is just, man, incredible. I love it. Unlike the slide, it surrounds my foot in a way where I don't think they're ever gonna, slip off. So yo, that is my top 10. That is my ranking of the Yeezys that I own from least comfortable to most. You can debate that amongst yourselves. I would much rather you just like form your own opinion and share your list in the comments. Be sure to visit modelministry.com. I'm on Instagram at model.ministry, and we'll see you next video.